If you were gonna buy an HBO Max subscription just to watch the Snyder Cut of Justice League, don't. The trailers sold this as, alright, now maybe I was getting my hopes up too high, because this has never happened before. You have never had a movie get stopped halfway through, had a complete course correction, have another guy take over, and then everybody hate it, and then 4 years later, it's 2021, Justice League came out in 2017, have the original director go back, redo everything to make the movie his original vision that's now 2 hours longer. That's never happened before. That had to have been ungodly expensive. And the universe is dead now, right? So it doesn't matter anyway. So it is very strange to me. And the trailer sold it, because, you know, it's in a 4:3 aspect ratio. The color palette's different. There's a bunch of shots and scenes that aren't in the 2017 movie. It sold it as it was going to be a completely different movie. That was a lie. This is the same movie dragged out to 4 hours. There was no new major thing barring one character and one cool sequence at the end. This is the exact same movie, and it is somehow worse than the 2017 cut. It is the ultimate addition to Batman v Superman. It is a director's cut. It is a director's cut that is 4 hours long. This is the same movie played at 0.25 speed, stretched to 4 hours, like butter scraped across too much bread. And it is long, it is meandering, and it is boring. So it's in the 4:3 aspect ratio, which is, you know, the IMAX ratio, so the movie can be presented fully in IMAX. Well, guess what? You can't see it in IMAX, you have to watch it on streaming. That may not have been the original intention, but for goodness sakes, this looks like trash on a 16:9 monitor downstairs. It's like, well, we have to watch this on our phones. We're watching this on freaking Apple Watch because movie theaters don't exist anymore. So while I usually prefer the expanded IMAX ratio, that does not apply to a 16:9 screen. You have to see that in the theater, and you can't. So the fact that they chose to leave it that way doesn't make any sense. Crop it or expand the frame a little, do something, but you can't have a home streaming or whatever. And also the movie's rated R, because fuck you, that's why. It is so awkward, cringy, and often hilarious how bloody this movie gets. Justice League has the violence of an R-rated movie, but the maturity and the narrative complexity of a PG movie, and it is very strange. People are saying fuck left and right, fuck that, fuck this, fuck you, and heads are getting chopped off. That scene at the beginning where Wonder Woman saves all the people from the terrorists in the bank, she throws a guy against the wall and there's a giant blood splat behind him. It's ridiculous. It's like the Hobbit extended cut of Battle of the Five Armies. It's like, why is this R? This does not make any sense. And she's kneeling down talking to all the little girls like, you're okay, princess, everything's gonna be okay, and there's a puddle of gore behind her. Speaking of which, Gal Gadot is terrible. I know I kind of reneged on this in my original review of Justice League. I don't know what I was thinking. I was crazy. I lied to you. Go back and dislike that video. That video's bullshit. Gal Gadot is a terrible actress. She is a model, and she is a former special secret service agent from Israel or whatever. That's the other thing. The Amazons in general. I cannot buy on screen these twig-like stick women Amazon fighting with spears and bow and arrows on the same battlefield as lasers and rocket ships. This is crazy. This is screen jarring. These are two separate genres that do not mix together. It is awkward and downright hilarious watching a bunch of skinny stick women try to charge giant military dudes with spears, and they're getting thrown around and chopped in half and blood's going everywhere. That's what happened, I guess. There's a part where Steppenwolf, like, gets underneath a horse and just yeets it across the hill, and it was hilarious. It looks so awkward. The CG was so bad. So after 4 years of time, they didn't bother to clean up any of the CGI. Everything I said in the original video still holds true. There was blatant, obvious, terrible green screen everywhere. The CG is bad. The stunt work is laughable. You can see somebody's riding on a little mount with a green line behind them, and the fact that, like, there's these women holding up these other women with barely struggling with one arm is ridiculous. It's hilarious. Women don't. Tucker Carlson, I'm with you, man. Women don't belong in the military. Women don't belong in the battlefield. You can't fight. Go back in the kitchen, get pregnant, and make me some damn dinner. Did you hear that, by the way? My God, we are doomed. We are doomed. Do you think China's doing that? Pregnant women in the army. Give me a fucking break. I'm the fucking crazy one. Shitting me right now. The whole movie's full of bad acting, bad writing, generic action, it's downright poorly filmed action in some places. It all looks very fake. It has none of the visual flair of Man of Steel or Batman v Superman, and the fact that this is now suddenly a beloved movie is beyond me. I do not understand how you can think that this is better than the 2017 version. If you don't like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, but you like the extended cut of Justice League, you're nuts. You're crazy. You've lost it. Everything everybody complained about in those first 2 movies is in here times 100. Dude, there is not 4 hours worth of content here. These scenes are meandering. They drag on. It's like every single frame they shot had to make it into the movie. There are so many unnecessary scenes and so many shots that just go on. Like, there's shots that are identical to the 2017 movie, but they go on for like an extra 10 seconds. It's just a character walking off screen, looking at something, or it's panning around doing an establishing shot. There is so much wasted time. This is what an editor's for. I guess Zack Snyder clearly didn't like his editor, told him to go fuck himself, and just put everything in the movie. I gotta preface this with saying, I'm not bandwagoning. I liked Zack Snyder before it was cool. While all y'all were saying he was a shitty director, I said Man of Steel was great. Batman v Superman, flawed, but there's some really good stuff in there. Watchmen, great. 300, great. This guy's talented. He knows what he's doing. I liked him before it was cool, which I guess just means I wasn't cool. And there's so many scenes of characters stopping and looking at each other like, oh no, are you okay? What's happening to you? While people are dying right behind them. It's like, woman, you do not have time for this. Bitch, you are holding the thing that will destroy the entire planet. Move your ass. And I can't take any of this movie seriously. And you know, funny enough, there's a couple things that I thought were Snyder that it turns out were Whedon that I liked in the original Justice League. The part where Batman tells Flash to save one person, you know, just save one person and the rest will follow, and that was good. It's not in the Snyder cut. Batman's super awesome robot voice completely gone until the very end for some reason. Oh, the music. I gotta talk about the music. So you go from Batman v Superman to Justice League. You drop Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL for Danny Elfman. Bad music. Outright bland, generic, unemotional, very boring music for the original cut of Justice League. With a few exceptions, I like the Flash theme, string in the blah. That sounds good. I liked it. That felt kind of classic superhero. That's gone. The Flash theme is now worse here. And they've replaced all of the badass Wonder Woman, you know, drum and dee with this obnoxious, ear-piercing, terrible guttural throat singing. You remember the original God of War trailer in E3 2018? That where it's like and then they cut that in the final soundtrack because Corey Balrog and Bear McCreary were like, yeah, that sounds like shit. Let's not do that. Junkie XL apparently thought it was a great idea. The music in the Snyder cut is worse. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this was possible. Darkseid is barely in the movie. Steppenwolf is still the main villain of the movie. And now granted, his armor looks much cooler. He still sucks. Having more of a shitty character doesn't make the shitty character better. Just because there's more of him on the screen does not mean, oh, he's fleshed out and he's got an arc now. No, bullshit. This movie didn't fix any of the problems with the original Justice League, which was its lack of vision. It's rushed. So here's, all right, so Justice League in 2017 was a little too rushed. It felt like it was kind of moving a little too smoothly, a little too straightforwardly without too many hiccups. Complete polar opposite of the Snyder cut. It is 4 hours. It is slow. It is meandering. It is pedantic. There is so much shit going on that I just did not care about. There's like a 20-minute side plot with Ray Fisher and his dad. I don't care. Cyborg is a soulless, emotionless bot, and I did not care about him at all. Again, it is a director's cut. There are smaller little scenes here and there. There are shots that last longer. There are scenes that are... It's the same scene, but it's done differently. Like, the dialogue is different. It's very strange. There is no bombshell here, aside from the ending, that was missing from the original Justice League. There was nothing in here that fixes the original Justice League. This is just a lengthy, indulgent Zack Snyder jerk-off fest. You know something else I picked up on? Is that the heroes, Wonder Woman and Cyborg specifically, encourage and glorify some downright bad behavior. Like, these are not like anti-heroes where it's like, oh, you know, he's a flawed human being, but we like him anyway. No, these are heroes. These are supposed to be objective good guys. And Wonder Woman is lying to children, and Cyborg is stealing money for people, and he's helping somebody cheat on their grades, and his black Kamala Harris mom comes in like, oh yeah, my son did the right thing, slay queen, Z-snap. It's like, bro, you can't do that. That's cheating. That's immoral. Isn't the whole point of a hero to do the right thing when it's unpopular and when it's hard, when it's not going to get you any extra grace because you're doing it because it's the right thing? That's what makes you a hero? Or do we just do things that help out our friends and make each other feel good? No, that's immoral. That's wrong. It's crazy how much of this movie was expanded and drawn out into oblivion, and how many of the somewhat decent parts of 2016 were just completely cut. The moral dilemma of, hey, maybe we shouldn't resurrect the dead. That could pose some problems. That is completely glossed over in the Snyder Cut. And it's a fascinating philosophical concept of if we can resurrect the dead, should we? All of that, gone. Gone, 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 gone. This movie is terrible. This is by far Zack Snyder's worst movie. You remember there was a Unite the Seven was actually a tagline for Justice League for a while, and if you can count, you'll look at the poster and say, that's only 6 people. Who's the 7th member of the Justice League? So there is a 7th member of the Justice League in this movie. I won't ruin it for you if you couldn't tell from the trailer. Now, granted, hard caveat, the ending is amazing. The ending sequence and the ending part you saw with the Joker in the trailer, that whole scene is gold. That is fantastic. And that's the movie I want. That's what I thought we were going to be getting. But no, it's an extra little sprinkle on the top at the very end. It does not affect or change the movie at all. It's just a dream sequence tacked onto the end. And now that the universe is dead and buried, we're never going to see it. I wanted to see the Injustice. I wanted to see the Mad Max Fury Road Batman who's running around with a scar and a G36 gunning people down. They had a missed opportunity with a line there for Joker when Batman's like, make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. Which, again, that's the other thing. People are dropping F-bombs left and right, which sounds so weird. I think it works there, because that's a part where you could feel the resentment and the hatred in there. So having a little F-bomb gives it a little extra pop in the dialogue. And they had a missed opportunity for Jared Leto to just be like, well, don't threaten me with a good time. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I was excited for this. I can't believe I looked forward for this for 3 fucking years. The last movie we'll probably ever see ever in history before theaters are barren wastelands. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Can't wait to see that Joe Biden, Vlad Putin presidential debate throwdown. Is it wrong that I'm kind of rooting for Vlad?